Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Shane Blanchard, and welcome to Focus on the Warrior. So glad you guys are here. I am a three-time transplant recipient, and I am now sharing stories for those that are looking for living kidney donors. And I would like to welcome my guest tonight, Taneisha Eliss from Pennsylvania. Excited to have her on the show tonight and speak with her a little bit and hear about her story and her need for a living kidney donor. So let me welcome her on right now. Real quick, I'll give a shout out to Jared from the Warriors Quest show. His show will be on tomorrow night. I always say he's on after me, right after me, but it looks like he's going to be rolling tomorrow night, Thursday night. Let me know the time too, Jared, if you would. So anyway, so let me bring on my friend right now, Taneisha Eliss. There you are. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing so good. So good. It's great to see you.
You too.
So let's talk. Let me hear a little bit about you. So you're in kidney failure currently, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so tell me a little bit about your background and your experience up to dialysis on what's happened there.
So whenever I was 9 years old, I got diagnosed with kidney. Well, they said my kidneys were levels were down and I might need dialysis eventually. And then I thought that meant when I turned older. Well, it was like a couple months later, and I just turned 10 and I was starting PD dialysis. So me and my mom went down to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and that's where I got the PD tube inserted and the catheter, and learned about PD.
At 10 years old.
Yep, at 10. So
Wow.
we had to go through what like testing and teaching classes, and if this happens, this is what you do, and how to order your supplies every month and all that stuff. And I just was like, this is a lot. But my mom pretty much made me do it, so I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
Ordering my supplies.
So what was that like being 10 years old and having to do dialysis on your own, especially home dialysis?
It it wasn't bad, I guess. Whenever I first started, it kind of hurt, like the getting the solution in and draining. That hurt a little bit, but then after you get used to it, it stopped hurting. But it wasn't bad, but it kind of sucked because I wasn't able to be a normal kid. I had to be in the house at a certain time to get my machine ready
Yeah.
at a certain time so I can be off in time for school.
Yeah. And did you ever get a transplant at that time, or
I got a transplant whenever I was 19
so you did dialysis for 9, 10 years,
for 9 years.
9 years? Oh
Yep.
wow. So yeah, and I know I did dialysis for 3.5 years, but I can't imagine doing it for that long. I mean, that's just
Oh
crazy that you
yeah,
did it.
it was a long time. I remember I was 18 and I said I'm moving out, and my mom didn't want me to move out, but I'm like, I'm moving out. I'm 18 years old, so I moved out, and she thought I wasn't going to finish school because I was still in high school. And I said nothing's changing, just my address. I'm going to school. I'm going to graduate. And I called out here in Pennsylvania, it's called Baxter,
Hmm.
and that's who we ordered our supplies from, and that's who I would call to get my supplies shipped to my house. I had
Wow.
to call them to change my address so they wouldn't ship to my mom's, to change it to my new address. So that was actually fun whenever they come and you're not home and all your stuff's sitting outside.
Yeah, and you got to carry all that in because
Yeah. And they got a machine that'll carry it up the steps.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So when you say steps, did you live on a second story, third story, something like
No,
that,
I
or?
had an apartment that was 2 floors, and I kept
Oh,
my solution and stuff in my spare bedroom upstairs.
oh, I see.
So whenever the
Oh,
people came, they just put it on a machine and it dragged it up the steps.
right.
So whenever I came home one day and it was all outside, I was so mad.
Wow. So what originally caused kidney failure? Was it something you were born with? Like with me, I was
Yeah,
born
just
with it.
born. My kidneys never grew. So whenever I turned 9, I started having complications in like my stomach area, and I went to the hospital cuz I was in bad pain, and they said my appendix ruptured and that I needed emergency surgery. And my mom was like, "Oh no, you're not touching her. She's got to be shipped back to Children's Hospital Philadelphia." So they life flighted me out there, and the first people I seen when I got off the helicopter was my aunt, my grandma,
Mm,
because they lived out there. My parents, we lived 4 hours from Philadelphia, so um, we're originally from there, so all my family is there. But they were the first two people I seen, and my parents were on their way in the car.
sure.
So I had my appendix removed, and that's when they found out that my kidneys were done. They were dying.
Wow.
So they just never grew. My kidneys are I just had got an ultrasound not too long ago, and my transplant kidney that I have is bigger than my original kidneys.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And so
They're small.
that kidney you got now, when was that? You got that at age of 19.
Yeah, I was 19, so in 2008.
Okay, and then where did you receive that from?
I got that from Harrisburg. Pinnacle
Okay.
Health in Harrisburg.
Okay. Was that a living donor or
Deceased.
deceased? Okay. So what was it like being 19 years old getting that call?
Oh, the first call, I was scared because my parents, I was one of them people that put my phone on silent at night, and kidney transplant tell you to keep your phones on, you know. Well, they were calling my phone. I didn't hear it. They called my parents' house phone. Then my parents came to my apartment, banging on the door. And my mom was like, "They got a kidney for you." And my whole heart sank. So
Mm,
we drove clear to Harrisburg, which was an hour and a half away from where I used to live. And we get there, they prep you, put the IV in you, and they came in and said, "Oh, the kidney's not for you."
hmm,
And my mom started crying. I was like, "Oh, thank God," because I was scared. You know, you're scared when you first get the first one. You're like, you don't know what to expect. So I think 2 weeks went past and I got another call. We went down there and that one was for me. It was a girl. She was 18 in a car accident in Hershey, PA, and they're like side by side. So they just helicoptered over, and there I went. I got a kidney. Another woman got a kidney. I think she was in her 30s at the time, and then a couple people got other organs from the same person.
mm. Wow. That's the thing that when just recently, 4 months ago, I got transplanted from a deceased donor, and the words can't describe how you feel, when someone
Yeah,
donates. I mean, how was your feeling about that at that
they
age?
they gave me this transplant pack, and it had like a kidney pillow in it and some other stuff like a watch and this paper that you can write a note to the family
Yeah,
and tell them how, how it changed your life. And I'm like, well, the only reason I know it changed my life right now is that I can pee. I'm urinating and I'm grateful, but when I first started, I didn't feel like I do now. You know what I mean? Like now that I'm older and I'm on it, I feel drained. I feel sluggish. I feel like crap. There's days I just want to give up. So back then, I was like, oh, I'm very thankful for it. I
yeah.
didn't really know how much your kidneys really played a big impact in your life.
Yeah, when you're younger, and I was the same as you. I was 22. Well, I was 21 when I was diagnosed with kidney failure. They said I was probably in kidney failure since the age of 16. I just didn't know because I was
Wow.
young and in shape, because I wrestled for so many years. So, kind of a similar experience to you. When I got my brother's kidney, my family said they could tell a big difference in me, but I guess myself, uh,
You couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell a big difference, but they could in my energy level and the way that I looked. But me personally, now, this last time being 46, 47 years old, no, 40, yeah, I was 47 when I got it, this last kidney. I could tell a huge difference because just like you, I'd get done with in-center hemodialysis some days. Man, I just wanted to go home and just, I was
Cry.
out for the whole day,
Yep.
and I was still working too. So then the next day I'd get up, go to work, and I felt halfway decent, but,
See,
you know,
I think what happened was whenever they decided to put the port in my arm last year in March, which I don't understand why they did that. That just burns my soul. But because I
so are
have
you saying a port instead of a fistula?
they put a graft in this arm. See
Yeah,
the
okay.
scar?
Instead of a fistula, they put a tube in there.
They put the graft.
Oh, the graft. Okay, so fish.
So,
Okay.
so I already have a graft I had a graft in my right leg, the upper thigh. And then I noticed, like, when he put that in years ago, my leg would like start swelling up when I'm on it too long, which
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really bother me because I knew once I got into bed, it was going away.
Going away. Yeah.
So then eventually I started having more surgeries on my right leg. So before he retired, I was like, can you put one in my left leg? So he put one in my left leg. He turned the one in the right off and put one in my left. So my left leg never swelled up, never had problems with it. The only problems I would ever have was like if I needed it declotted. Well, my original surgeon retired and this new surgeon came on that didn't know me from a can of paint. I didn't know him, never heard of his name, nothing. And I remember I went to the emergency room for something and he comes in because as soon as you go to emergency room, you say, "Oh, I'm a dialysis patient." Um they want to call your dialysis doctor, your nephrologist, and everybody. Well, here comes the new doctor that took over for my old surgeon. And he's like, we need to put a graft in your arm. And I said, I can't get one in my arm because if I could, I would have had that as the first procedure ever.
Right.
I said my veins and stuff are too bad to have anything in my arms. He said, "Oh no, we could put a graft in there." And I forget. There was something wrong with me. I don't even remember what was wrong. But I agreed to it apparently and signed the papers for them to do it. And I woke up and my arms all ace bandaged up and now I can't feel in my arm and my arm's giving me all these problems.
Steel
So long
syndrome.
story short, I wound up getting this off. Like I made them cut this off.
Good. Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
was like,
That's
there's no point in having two accesses that work. I would only use my arm for a backup because I wasn't letting them use it. And I'm like, they're going to continue to use my leg because my leg works fine. And I'm like more a whole thing about image. That's why I was like, I don't want nothing in my arms. And then they were like, well, your veins are too bad. I said, oh, thank God. They wound up having to do my leg. They wound up having to take a vein and pull it from the bottom and pull it up or toward
hmm
the surface to do it.
yeah. I same situation. When I was 21, they put my fistula in my bicep over here, and I had this big lump. and I
Yeah.
hated it, being 20, 21, 22 years old trying to pick up chicks. That wasn't attractive to me, you know what I'm saying? So so here I am at 46, or I was 45 when I went back into kidney failure. I didn't want that this time. That's why I fought for PD so hard. But then they ended up, putting this graft in my arm, and they said, this fake tube thing that goes in my left arm, and they said you won't have that problem with this. I said,
Nope.
good. That's
The
that's
grad
that's
like
what I'll take.
that's why when I was on PD and then I got my transplant, and then once my transplant failed, hey cousin Willie, I was like, I don't want the fistula because my grandfather actually had a fistula. And he used to chase me and my sister around with it. And
Hmm.
we didn't even know what dialysis was or what was going on. We knew he had a pacemaker and we couldn't turn the microwave on when he was in the kitchen. That's about it.
I
But
never knew that. Is that still true today? I wonder.
I don't know.
Hmm,
We were like little kids whenever that came about.
interesting.
And I
So
just was like, hmm. I'm going to turn this microwave on because I was trying to test the theory, and then he bent over and I just hurried up and turned it off. And I was like, oh, I guess it is true. Because I
yeah,
used to think he would just tell us stuff to just tell us. But yeah, that was true back then. I don't know about nowadays, but back then
yeah,
it was.
yeah. I've never heard that before, but it's interesting.
But yeah, the graph, I loved it. I love the graph. I will never get a fistula because I don't want the bubbled up. The fistula or the graph, you can't even tell you have it because it stays flat.
Yep.
And I like it that it's in my thigh because it's more hideable.
Yeah, it is, and it doesn't have that. Mine didn't have that. My graph didn't have that big thrill to it. It's just a pulse, a light pulse.
No,
Is
mine
all.
had this big thrill. It felt like an ocean was going through it.
Oh
And my
wow.
arm, that's why I got that still syndrome.
Yeah, that still syndrome is a son of a gun because I had that in my right hand
Yeah.
from from uh, from my fistula, and I hated it because my fingers would hurt so bad sometimes, and I would get these swellings when I couldn't even bend my fingers and stuff, and it would just numb up. I could take a hammer and probably hit my hand,
Hit
and
you
I wouldn't
and
feel
can't
nothing.
even feel it.
No, it was very annoying, which makes it even more annoying for when you're trying to write and do things like that. It's just it's not fun. But thank God it's gone and out of there. So I'm glad
Yeah.
that you got yours shut off. And do you still deal with any side effects from that?
No, whenever when it was running, it was bad. My arm was numb. I'd always they were telling me to like put it lower than my heart, to make the blood flow. And I'm just like, I can lay on it and hear it through with my ears
Right.
flow. I was like, it's a little too powerful. I don't need it to work that great. It was flowing. And
Yeah.
then I had to go through hurdles and hoops to actually get it taken care of. And I went all the way to Pittsburgh, which is 2 hours from me. And the doctor out there was going to do surgery. Well, I wound up going to the hospital here where I live and complaining of pain because that hurts. That's worse feeling
Yeah.
ever.
Definitely.
And they wound up just doing the surgery right then and there whenever I went to the emergency room here.
Well, and so then how long the kidney that you got at 19, how long did that last?
5 years.
Okay, and then did you get another kidney after that, or have you been
That's what
waiting
I'm
ever
doing
since?
now. I'm on my second.
So 20, and you're, wow, young,
Now I'm 33.
waiting,
Yeah. That's the
needing.
sad part. It's like you're waiting. I don't want to say for someone to die, but that's basically what you're waiting for. Because either you're going to wait for someone to pass away that's compatible for you, or you're going to wait for someone that's going to come along that is a living donor that's compatible. And there's a lot of people that I had message me and all that stuff, and people contact the transplant team and schedule appointments, and people don't go to the appointment to get testing. So I'm just to the point where I'm just like, I rather you just do it behind closed curtains, and then once everything's done, then they'll contact me.
Yeah. Well, and for those out there that are watching this, and you can see what's scrolling along the bottom of this screen for kidneysolutions.org, I work in partnership with these folks out of Texas. there's a phone number on there too, and they actually have a coordinator, Shannon, that works with them. So you can actually give them a call directly, and they can walk you through the process. Something else that's easier is doing it this way because sometimes when you go online to fill out these questionnaires, they can be quite extensive and they can be quite confusing. So that's why it's nice to use an organization like Kidney Solutions that can help and walk you through this process and make sure that you get everything handled. Uh, it's just a lot easier and a better way to do things too. And what is your blood type, Tanisha?
Be positive.
Well, and that's you all the way right there. You're always, that's funny because yeah, you are a very positive person. Yeah,
I try to be.
I love your TikToks. You do a lot of good stuff on there too. So, but they're great. But and so people out there to know that you don't necessarily have to match up blood type either. I got my kidney because my cousin came forward and we didn't match up on antibodies because of me having blood transfusions and prior surgeries. So he donated through the National Kidney Registry to a stranger, and that gave me a golden ticket, which is called a living voucher. And you can do the same thing for Tanisha. You can donate through the National Kidney Registry, and you can give Tanisha that living voucher, that golden ticket, which will put her right to the top of the list, and she will get the first phone call of someone that happens to pass away that's a match, or somebody out throughout the whole United States of America that's alive and wants to donate out of the kindness of their heart. That kidney will go directly to her. So you don't have to directly donate to Tanisha to save her life and be her hero and be her angel. You can do that through the National Kidney Registry through a living kidney voucher, or you always have an option to do a paired exchange as well, which is where you have another couple that where you have a donor and a recipient, and you just do a swap. So
Right.
definitely call that number and try to do that for her. That would be a huge blessing. So now you've been in kidney failure for, gosh, quite a long time. And what type of diet you're doing in-center hemodialysis right
He-
now, correctly?
Hemo, yep.
In-center hemo. So talk to me about that a little bit. What are those treatment like, and what does that entail? What are they doing?
Oh, it's getting bad every treatment. So, before when I started, I had high blood pressure, so I took blood pressure medicine. That was years ago. And then I've been off blood pressure medicine for years, and then I want to say last year, yeah, right around whenever I quit working, um, I started getting low blood pressure.
Hmm.
So now when I go to dialysis, every treatment, no matter what, my blood pressure is dropping like my last hour on the machine. It's getting down into the 70s and the 60s, and I can feel it. Like when it starts dropping, I can tell. So I'm telling them, can you check my blood pressure? They'll take it, and then they'll give me saline to try to
Hmm.
bring it up. But they don't want to they don't want to give you too much because the whole deal is to clean your system and to get your dry weight down.
Right.
So, um, every treatment for the past year, my blood pressure has been dropping.
So let's talk about that bottoming out. And for people to understand what bottoming out is, this is when your blood pressure drops really low. And have you experienced the sweating, the almost passing out,
I passed out and they flip you all the way back in a chair,
put your
give you
legs
all
up?
this saline to bring you, to wake you up. I've passed out before. I've that one pass out made me learn the symptoms. Like I started realizing before I'm about to get to that point.
Yeah.
Because the lights start turning bright, and when they start getting bright, you're about to go out.
Or a little crampy cramp in the foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I usually get the bright my like the lights look so bright like you're looking into the sun.
Right.
And I learned that real quick. Real
Yeah.
quick. I don't
And
like
just
that feeling.
And just so you viewers understand, what your kidneys do is they take, not only everybody knows that they help you pee, they take fluid out of your body, but they also control your blood pressure and they also get rid of toxins in your body. So when Tanisha was sitting here talking about her having high blood pressure and then not having high blood pressure, well, her kidneys quit working. So naturally, that blood pressure might go down. So they probably had to give you some medication to raise that. And,
Yeah, I take a pill now to to keep it up,
mhm.
but I did research on the pill, and the pill only works for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So if I take the pill before dialysis, I'll walk in and my blood pressure might be today it was 107/56.
Mm.
To me, that's low because I'm like, as soon as I get on here, they start me going, it's gonna drop.
Oh, at 107. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. Hmm.
So I'm just like, I want to be. So I talked to the doctor and I was like, is there another blood pressure pill that will do the same thing but have a longer effect? And they said, yeah, but the one that they were talking about, I guess you have to urinate for. And I don't urinate because if you
Mm.
don't urinate, then you're going to,
Yeah, stay in your
fluid.
system. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I was like, I guess I'm stuck on this pill. So now they're like, did you take your pill? And I'm like, yes, I would take it while I'm in my car sitting. Then I started taking it while I was there. Like I let them hook me up, and in the first 30 minutes, I would wait, and then I would take it.
Hmm.
But no matter how you take it, I still bottom out.
Yeah. Ugh, it's
So
a hard cycle, man. It's a roller coaster ride for
yeah, and then
sure.
I just was like, there's maybe there's something else going on. Maybe, I'm starting to panic. I'm thinking it's my heart. And I'm calling my aunt that lives in Philadelphia. She is a retired doctor. And I'm like, and she has a heart condition. So I'm like, maybe I got a hole in my heart. Because I can feel like when my heart's pounding. And before they were like, your heart rate's up. And I used to be like, I can't tell. But now I can feel it. And when I get off of dialysis, I feel like crap. I
Hmm.
just go home, eat something, and lay down. And then I usually fall out. And then I have to go and get calcium tomorrow because my calcium low. So it's
And
like,
they won't let you drink the milk to get it up. They won't let you do it
yeah, because the
naturally.
milk has phosphorus in it.
Right. Yep. Yep.
So I'm just like, I tell my Shane all the time, I'm just like, there's days where I'm just ready to be done. Because it's like, no matter what you do, there's always something else coming up. And I can't remember the last time I felt actually great was probably when I was working.
Yeah.
And then whenever he put this in my arm, I couldn't do my job duties anymore. So I stopped working, and now I feel like my body's just deteriorating every treatment.
Well,
It's just going down.
yeah, which to be honest, and we know this is that's what dialysis. It's not a permanent solution. It's a temporary solution.
Right.
And just so people understand, and we can be blunt, is that this is why we need kidneys, and this is why we need kidney donors, because dialysis tears the body down, and it's very, very hard on the heart as well. I have congestive heart failure because of my time on dialysis, and now I have to counter that by making sure I'm still trying to be as healthy as possible,
Yep.
and that's what's going on with you being on dialysis. It's not a fix by any means.
Yeah, I
Um,
went for a stress test the beginning of March, and as soon as I got the results on my phone, I like screenshotted it all and sent it to my aunt. And I'm like, what's this mean? Because they didn't call me and say, oh, this is your results. So I screenshot everything and sent it to my aunt. And I just
yeah.
like, what's all this mean? And she was telling me, and she was like, well, it's saying you got fluid like in your lungs a little. And I
Mm,
said, probably because I've been dropping and they've been giving me fluid and I've been leaving over my dry weight. So,
interesting.
they're like, oh, well, maybe we need to raise your dry weight. I'm like, that's all you keep doing. You keep raising and raising. And it's probably, I can tell when I got fluid on because I start swelling. Like
Yeah.
the first part I notice it is in my legs. As soon as my legs start getting that edema, I know I got too much fluid on.
Right.
So I was telling them, I said, I haven't been swollen in forever, like
Yeah.
years. And
And,
now I'm
and
getting edema in my legs. I said, I got fluid on, and they use this thing called a crit line.
yeah.
And they go off of that, and I'm just like, I don't know, but I got fluid on, so I had to go in for an extra treatment where they just took fluid. They didn't clean my blood, they just took fluid, and I didn't have a low blood pressure after that. Nothing
Mm,
after and it was only 3 hours, but after I was done that, I didn't. My blood pressure didn't drop. Nothing.
yeah. And so people also that are watching understand dialysis only does 15% of what normal kidneys do. So even after transplant, and this was my case, even when I got my kidney, I still lost an additional 15 to 20 pounds of fluid right after my transplant, which was crazy. And I'm like, what the? Where's this coming from? They said it's fluid. It's in places in your body. I would talk
Yeah,
to Kent Bressler, who we both know, and yeah, there's fluids in places that we don't even know. And like you're talking in your lungs, if it gets too bad, they have to stick a tube in and suck that out, which is
done
scary as
that.
heck.
Been there
But
before.
yeah,
Yep.
so I mean, those it's just what we go through. This is why we need someone to, come forward for Taneisha and to donate. It's important, very important. This is not a fun life to live by any means.
No, not at all. It's not fun. I mean, and there's a lot of like now when they say how did this change your life, I can go in a whole spiel. Back whenever I was 19, I didn't really know what to say because I didn't feel bad because I did PD and I
Right,
did it every night.
right,
Now I could probably write a whole book
right.
to the family or to the person someone that I know personally that did the match like they her and him went in. She wasn't a match for him, but she donated her kidney and he got one. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I wish I would have known her." I said, "I wish I'd known her, man."
Yeah, that'd been nice.
Yeah, I said, "There's a lot of people that everybody says, "Oh, you got siblings." I'm like, "Yeah, but we all there's four of us that come from the same woman and man." So I'm just like, you know, if it's me, it could happen to them four, the other three. And then I
Yeah,
have a half brother. We have the same dad, different mom. And I feel like, I mean, it could happen to him too.
right. And sometimes if things are hereditary, the doctors won't even.
And it's on both sides of the family. Like it's
Yeah,
on my mom's side and my dad's side.
yeah. So, in order to donate a kidney, to be a donor, they will not let you get off the table the same way. If you're going to get off that table differently than you got on it, you're not going to give a kidney.
Right.
They make sure that you are not going to have any kind of side effects or anything that's going to change your life whatsoever if you donate. They're very, very picky about people that they choose to give kidneys. I know myself, I went through 30 before they found my final two and decided on one. So it can be, and that one couldn't even donate to me in the end. The final two couldn't even donate to me. They were good enough to donate, through voucher or paired exchange. So it's hard. It's hard to it's they really check you out. They really check you out.
And I think that's a lot of things people don't know. I think they think they're going to go in, donate, and then they might be in a damn chair after,
Yeah,
after.
yeah,
But science and medicine is so different from back in 2008 than it is
yeah.
now.
Oh, when my brother donated in '97, they cut him from his belly button to his spinal cord. They cut him in half. That's how they got the kidney out because they needed that
Wow.
much. They needed that much clearance just to get the kidney out. Now they do it laparoscopic with a robot with three holes and a 3-inch incision to pull the kidney out. It's crazy how far it's came. And when my brother gave me the kidney, he was in the hospital, I think 10 days, 9 or 10 days. I was
Then
out
you're,
before he was.
yeah. I was
Now
going to
the
say, then
donors
you're
are
out.
out. Now the donors are out in a day or two, or
Yeah.
when they feel like they want to go. They'll let them leave. So it's crazy how much it's changed.
Yeah.
So
I seen that now and I'm just like, oh, wow. And I seen they're doing this whole pig experiment. I don't want to be a guinea pig. And I seen the what's the ibonic kidney that they've been
hmm
doing. I don't know if I want to be the first recipient.
yeah,
Um,
we're probably years away from that happening, but it's still pretty cool that the
Probably.
technology's right there, and they're doing these xenotransplants and they're doing these robotic kidneys, and now they're coming out. They just they did a heart transplant with a pig as well, so it's just
And
genetically altered.
that guy lasted two months.
Yeah, yeah, which he was. It was. I mean, it's a sad situation because he was. You know, he had a week to go, and they did that to see how it would work. So hopefully they learn, and he was cool being a part of that experiment for other people. So you just gotta blessings and hats off to this guy, that did
Yeah,
something like
because
that for other people.
yeah, he gave the opportunity for science to experiment.
and to learn more. So, which
Hmm.
is huge. But so right now, you're in Pennsylvania. Where are you currently listed at?
Um, Harris or not Harrisburg, Pittsburgh at Pinnacle Health.
Okay, at Pinnacle. So if anybody is interested that wants to go online and look up Pinnacle Health, you could do that. But I always strongly suggest going through the Kidney Solutions organization and calling that number because they handle it so much easier because
I was gonna say either way, yeah, I'd go through them because it's a easier road.
avenue, yeah,
Yeah.
easier road for everybody, and
Hmm.
they can kind of walk you along and help you out and everything. So, um, I'm going to get ready to wrap up because this does air. Just so everyone knows that this is on YouTube. It's also on Facebook and Instagram and Twitch. It's also on Discovery Plus now, as well as it's going to be coming up. I'll get it on MCG as well here. But the show is kind of limited to its time because of commercials and stuff and edits. So um, I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor and a final word to where if you've got anything else you'd like to say or to a potential donor out there, I'll give you the floor if that's okay. Do you feel comfortable doing that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I'll move away for a second and I'll let you take the floor. And if you've got anything else you'd like to say or request from anyone out there, um, then you can just go ahead and do that now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Taneisha Ellis. I live in Altoona, Pennsylvania. I'm currently listed at Pinnacle Health, or not Pinnacle, Jesus. Um, and I'm listed in Pittsburgh at Presby Hospital. Um, if you want to donate a kidney or get any information on kidney donation, please contact Kidney Solutions. The number is down at the bottom in their website. I'm 33 years old and I've been doing dialysis since I've been 10. I had a transplant in 2008. That lasted 5 years. Now I'm back at square one. So I'm just looking for a match, a donor, or they have different things you can do to try to help me get Um, a kidney right now would definitely be a blessing in disguise because my life has changed through the years a lot. And right now I'm having bad time with my blood pressure's dropping during treatment, even after I get home to where I bought my own little blood pressure machine to check it. So I just thank everybody and hope everyone, if you know someone that's willing to donate or have questions to either contact Kidney Solutions, you can look me up on Taneisha Needs a Kidney on Facebook. And me and my team will get back to us.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and close out the show. I'll let you set backstage and just hang with me, and I'll be back with you here in a second, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Well, guys, listen, I cannot implore or ask anyone enough to please come forward for Taneisha. She is a wonderful person. She does a lot of things in the kidney community as well that I've seen where she helps other people and talks to other people that are going through kidney disease too. So you get someone like this that you're going to bless and give life to. I'm telling you right now, she's the type of person that's going to give life back and give hope back to people that are out there searching for kidney donors. So please consider donating to her. You can go on the bottom of the screen here, go to kidneysolutions.org, or you can go ahead and give that phone number a call and you can donate that way as well. Guys, I thank you so much for tuning in. Please like my channel on YouTube. Please share this video because that's how we get the story out, is sharing this on all the social media platforms that are available. So please share this and get the word out, and let's help Taneisha. Thank you all again for tuning in. God bless you all so much. And when you go and get your driver's license, make sure that you do sign up to be a organ donor as well, because you can really help a lot of people. So until next time, everybody, God bless you and take care.